here as well in the Sunfish. So we're off and racing. We've got 8 boats on the water right now, and it seems that everybody, we still have 8 sails up. From where we're sitting, the lead boat seems to be One Bahamas with Tonnage and Common. They seem to be holding quite a good wind here. The wind is out of the northwest, blowing at about 10, 12 knots maybe. So we're going to have a really good race this afternoon. As you can see, I did say that One Bahamas was in the lead, but it looks now like maybe Wave Maker might be the boat that is out front just now. It's hard to tell as they come up the harbor. They're a little ways off, but we will be bringing you a little more of the action as they get closer to us. These are the E-Class boats. Most of them will have 2 persons aboard, but the Grand Bahama boats will have, I believe, 3 on board, and that's the way it shakes out today. The boats have gone north for some reason. Everybody's on port tack going north at the moment. I think there's one boat coming on starboard here. Can't tell which one that is right now. But this is going to be interesting because it's pretty much directly upwind today. So we'll keep you posted. The wind is going to drop off a little bit. It's shifting a little to the east. It's back and forth coming in over Lily Key, straight down the harbor, really. So it's going to be a good upwind leg. Lots of back and forth. The gaining tack here, of course, is going to be the starboard tack. And so right now we've just got one boat on starboard. So the one is that One Bahamas coming on starboard. Yep. And she seems to be setting a pace here. That would be Tonnage and Carbon. We're going to give you the boat numbers in case you're watching through your field glass. One Bahamas is number 2, Kayla number 17, Mako number 29, Miss Agnes is 22, Riptide number 5, Panther number 4, Wave Maker 54, Lady L is 15. She's not out here today. Panther's not out. Mako's not out. 2 brothers from Grand Bahamas, number 18, Lucayan Lady, also from Grand Bahama, number 26. And yes, indeed, that boat that was coming up here on starboard tack was Panther. And she seems to be in good position now on port tack. But way out to the left of the course is Kayla. And it's going to be very interesting to see whether One Bahamas can get across Kayla. The mark is just beyond us here. We're on the committee belt clubhouse right in the center of the harbor, so we're in the middle of the action. We're very proud to say to you that we're being brought to you by Carson Gray and Co. This is going to be the broadcast for the next 2 days, and we hope that you will join us. We're looking at the 2 boats coming together now, which will be Panther coming across, and it does look like Kayla, and doing very well. Panther seems to be getting just a good breeze, and she's going to go across Panther, across Lady K. And now we see whether he's going to go ahead and tack right in front of her. So now we have most of the fleet coming to us on starboard tack, which is the gaining tack this afternoon. Just trying to locate the marker. Windward marker is here, close to us. So we are again checking the fleet, and indeed I do believe that is Kayla coming toward us right now. One Bahamas attacked on her weather. So this might be a change in the lead here. We can get him a walk around a bit so we can get you closer to the action. So as we're sitting here, Kayla attacks right in front of us, and immediately One Bahamas is across. So Tanaj is holding his own here, but this race is tightening up. We're going to be able to locate the windward marker in just a little bit. Overdraft is on her way there, so we will see that. But Panther likes this breeze, and she's really reaching well and pointing well. So we are going to, Josh has his work cut out for him today. Of course, he's our national champion, having taken the nationals in Nassau in Lady Kayla. And so he has a fight with Tanaj in One Bahamas today. And Tanaj is just tacked again over onto port. So he just tacked to cover. And so Kayla is going to have a little problem here. Catching him, he's got to make a mistake here. Kayla should be faster downwind, so we'll see how this works out. The wind is up and down. Sometimes you can sail into a little pocket, but One Bahamas is moving again. So he's looking to see who's in third place right now. It looks like Agnes might be the third place boat. This is the rest of the fleet catching up. We've got 5 boats coming together here. So we've got Wavemaker coming here close to us. She's about to tack away. I hope she can tack. If not, she's going to ram us. So Wavemaker's tacking right here in front of us. No shot. And he's going to go across Riptide. Lady Kayla tacks again, but One Bahamas has opened that distance again. I expected Tanaj will probably tack again on top of Lady Kayla, and he seems to be holding his own in this wind. The breeze has come up again, freshened a little bit. I would say right now the third place boat is No Sean in Wavemaker. But he's got to get going because Riptide is trying to cross him. Riptide is coming on starboard tack, so he will have to tack away from her, but it's going to be close. It's a beautiful afternoon out here on the water. A little overcast, a little bit. Sun coming through the thin clouds. Just giving us good light out here, and nice cool breeze. This front is going to probably come through tonight. We'll have maybe a north wind tomorrow. For right now, we're getting good bursts of sun, and racing is underway. This is the 6th annual Exuma Sailing Club Regatta on Elizabeth Harbor. Looks like Lady L would be the final boat in the fleet. She's a little bit back. They were late coming out, so making some adjustments. Folks, we now have the marker. The windward marker is in place, and we can see that One Bahamas has certainly opened a huge lead here in this first race. Again, Kayla has just tacked, and One Bahamas is across him as he tacks. I expect that he would the Tanaz would be tacking back to the mark right now. Not on a ley line yet, still a ways to go. Kayla seems to be a bit sluggish in her tacks today. Don't know what's going on with Joss. And now we have One Bahamas is tacked. The wind's moving around a bit, so it's going to be very interesting at the top mark. We're hoping that you'll come out tomorrow. We're going to be racing pretty much all day, pretty much closer in shore, so you'll get a good look at it. We're out in the middle of the channel today because, as I said, we are completing this race. The finish line will be at Chat and Chill on Stocking Island, and we're going to be over there for the rest of the evening at a big fundraiser for sailing in Exuma and for Exuma Sailing Club. So if you don't have anything planned for the afternoon, hop the ferry, come on over. We'd love to have you join us at Chat and Chill. It's open to the public, and it would be good to see you there. And perhaps you'll get to meet some of our skippers and some of our young people who are making this regatta every year more and more popular. So we have participants this year from, of course, here in Exuma, but we also have sailors who've come all the way from Grand Bahama. I think that's the farthest away. I used to come from Grand Bahama with Lucine Lady many years ago. Not this Lucine Lady, the big A-class one. And so it's good to see that name here and being carried on. That's kind of nice. Two brothers also from Grand Bahama. And we're going to introduce you to the chaperones. The Commodore, I believe, is here with us from Grand Bahama. And also we will be talking to some of the young people from Long Island. So it's growing. It's becoming more and more popular. We hope to have more and more young people coming to Exuma for this event year in, year out. 6th annual Exuma Sailing Club Regatta. So we've got Kayla and One Bahamas fighting for the lead right now. They've separated themselves from the fleet completely. Wavemaker seems to be in 3rd place, fighting with Riptide for that position. But right now, One Bahamas looks like the next tack will take her to the windward mark, and then she'll be coming downwind. It's sort of a direct downwind back towards Regatta Point. She is the red hull boat. Kayla would be the white hull. Those will be the first two boats coming on the downwind leg. And we are just about a couple of minutes from that. Commodore set out a rather long windward leg today. So it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully the wind is going to hold where it is and doesn't drop out, so we'll keep going. And we have One Bahamas tacking to the mark. I do believe he's on the ley line, and he should go across Kayla, and should be the first boat around the top mark. It's good to be out on the water again with racing in a regatta, and this is also in preparation for the National Family Island Regatta, which is coming up towards the end of the month. And so we have some interesting things happening in Exuma as far as sailing is concerned. We have a new A class coming to the National Family Island Regatta, so we'll be talking a little bit about that over the weekend, and hopefully get in a couple words with the builder and skipper of Captain Jean, which is the latest A class. Now we've got Kayla tacking back to the mark, and I don't know whether she's on the ley line. I don't think she is, but One Bahamas does seem to be on the ley line, and we shall see in just a little while whether or not she goes around. Yep, she's around. And if Kayla is going to go around, if she is on the ley line, this is going to really be, she's closed that gap quite a bit. So this should be very, very interesting. It's going to be a bit of a draw coming down because the wind is backing to the north, to the east, west to north. And so, yeah, Kayla is around. So that was a good tack that Josh made there. So he's going to be chasing One Bahamas all the way to the leeward mark. Kayla is a bit faster downwind, so we'll see what happens in this leg. It's quite a distance to go. The rest of the fleet making their way to the windward mark. Hard to tell who's going to be the third boat, but I do believe it's going to be Wave Maker. She's still trying to catch up there. So we're going to go to our trusty screen now and see if we can get a little better idea of who's where. Yes, it's Panther is. We can't tell where she is in the fleet right now, but she's on the port tack, headed to the windward mark, and that could be the third place boat. It's all by herself. Kayla has closed the gap on One Bahamas quite a bit, so it'll be interesting to see what happens going upwind. So we're looking at the boat at the windward mark now, and we're trying to get see who that's going to be. We don't have a number on that sail. So we have the third boat around the windward mark, and we'll try to identify that boat. Okay, so we have a fourth boat rounding now, Miss Agnes, just around the windward mark, on the way down, and she's going to be followed very quickly by 4 more boats. We'll give you that order as they come down. Here comes Agnes around the mark. And Panther's around, number 2. That would be Emmett. We have quite a foot race to the leeward mark here, with Kayla still trailing One Bahamas. Come back, Dallas.
We're going to do a slight course change at the next windward.
Okay, folks, we have a course change. Course change is that we will not be having a second downwind leg. So we will be going directly back to the windward mark, and from the windward mark we will head over to Chat and Chill. We're going to shorten the course right now, and that will be our race for the day. But we've got a lot of sailing left. As I said, still a big tussle going on between One Bahamas. Tanaj is holding his own. And One Bahamas is the oldest boat in the fleet. She was the first E-class that we acquired. Kayla is she's built by Mr. Gibson in Nassau, Sherman Gibson, and of course Kayla, we know very well, is from the cottage. Now we acquired her from the builder, Buzzy Roll, and she's still rolling. So these are the 2 top boats. They've really separated themselves quite a bit from the rest of the field. And so the class act is up front. Josh, the national champion, and I believe in those races Tanaj was 3rd. So we've got a couple of national races duking it out on the course today. Overdraft is at the mark, and the one Bahamas still leads Kayla. Looks like she will lead Kayla around the leeward mark. We will catch up with the other boats as they come by us here on Clubhouse. Over the weekend, we'll be giving you a better look at the harbor. Hopefully we get some more sunshine tomorrow, and we'll get the drone out and give you a little tour of what Elizabeth Harbor looks like. It's one of the more beautiful harbors in the entire country. The harbor stretches 7 miles from west to east. That would be for those of you who are sailors from Lily Key along Stocking Island all the way to Manawa Key at the south end of the harbor. Beautiful clear white sand bottom in the North Harbor, and then you have a lot of shoals and reefs in the South Harbor up behind Royal Key and between Royal Key and Elizabeth Key. But basically in the North Harbor we have clear sand bottom, absolutely beautiful. And one of the reasons for that, you might not know, is that during before the war, all of the shoals were removed from this end of the harbor and put over against the beacon by the U.S. Navy at the time, which had a base here back in the 40s and 50s. So that's a little bit of history there for you. When you're out on this beautiful harbor, this is the result of a war, believe it or not, that we have this beautiful white sand harbor. Okay, back to racing. We have Panther duking it out with Wavemaker and Agnes. All three of them vying for that third spot. And the one Bahamas is around the bottom mark. Lady Kayla is following her now. And now they will split, and we're going to see who does what. One Bahamas is on port tack, going off towards Stocking Island. Seems that Lady Kayla will stay on starboard and head in towards the government dock. So they open up, as we say, and we are going to have a little call and report. Call and report is a old sea dog terminology for racing. When they open up, they go away, and then one boat will call the other boat. And the way you would call is you attack first. So you would call, and then the other boat has either to report or continue on her course. And so we have just had a call from Lady Kayla, and we've got to see whether one Bahamas is going to report, and she hasn't so far. So we'll see what happens. That may not be a very smart move on the part of one Bahamas, because now we've got Kayla might have the upper wind here. She seems to be moving faster, and we could have a change in lead on this tack. Okay, so the rest of the fleet is on the way down to the leeward mark. As we said, we've got Wavemaker, Miss Agnes, Panther all vying for the third spot, and right behind them is Riptide. And bringing up the rear from Riptide, I believe, is either Two Brothers or Lucine Lady. I think it's Lucine Lady that's bringing up the 7th spot. So looking at the lead boats again, one Bahamas is still on that port tack. They're both on port. One Bahamas and Lady Kayla. But I do believe Lady Kayla is on the windward of one Bahamas, and one Bahamas has not yet tacked. So expect a crossing here when she does, because I do believe Kayla has now taken the lead, but we have to wait and see until they come back together. Racing on Elizabeth Harbor, the 6th annual Exuma Sailing Club Regatta is just underway today. full blown tomorrow, right at the government dock. So expect to see you out there. We're racing both all classes that we have. That would be the E-Class, Sunfish, and Optis, all racing tomorrow at some point. And we'll have that scheduled for you first thing in the morning when we come live from Government Dock tomorrow from the pavilion. So we now have one Bahamas tacked onto starboard. She has starboard, but Lady Kayla is really moving. We cannot tell how far apart they are, but Kayla should cross one Bahamas. I think Tanash might have stayed on that tack too long, but we are going to see in just a minute because they're closing rather quickly. The port tack actually seems to give you a better allow you to point higher. One Bahamas is coming, and I think Kayla is going to cross her quite some bit. One of the things in sailing that we always try to teach our kids is that, yep, Kayla's well across. That you do not let, when it comes down to match racing, which means one boat against the other, don't let the other boat get too far away from you. In the old days, they would be racing, say, from Nassau to Long Island. They would go out of sight of each other, and then they'd come back together. But here, when you're racing this kind of circuit races around the markers, you can't let that guy get too far away from you because lots of wind shifts, and especially when it's moving like now, it's going to start to move more from northwest to north, and so you have to be careful that you don't get caught in a shift. Right now, one Bahamas should tack and go back towards Kayla, and he would have an advantage, but he hasn't done it. If he stays on that long enough, Kayla will sail away from him. Somehow Baby Wave Maker got all the way down in 7th place. Don't understand that. She was in 3rd place, passing us here on the windward leg, and now she is in 7th. And that is no Sean, I believe. Yep, no Sean McKenzie. So we have Kayla going to mid-harbor all the way across, and he's going to go for one shot to the mark is what I do believe. He's tacking now, and Tanaj, one Bahamas, should now tack. If he doesn't, he's lost. He will be in 2nd place. Has to tack now. Lady L has made it to the top mark. She's around the mark and coming downwind now. It's quite some ways to the end of the fleet. So we're going to take a little break here and check a couple of things, and we'll come right back. Okay, so we're going to get an answer to what we said a little while ago, that one Bahamas stayed on that tack too long. And so now here she comes. She's on port. Kayla's on starboard. Kayla has the right of way, and she's coming with power. She's going to cross one Bahamas quite some boat lengths. And we'll see whether one Bahamas will tack underneath or whether he will just take the cut. And I think he's just going to take the cut. And so a way to stay close right now would be even where he is, to tack underneath and hold position. But he's not going to do it. He's going to go across. So, one Bahamas across Lady Kayla. I'm sorry, Kayla across one Bahamas. So now we see what does he stay there, or does he tack back? He does not want to tack yet, because then he's in the foul air coming off Kayla. And so I would tack when Kayla tacks right now, which is probably what he should do. Close that gap. Lady Kayla, Josh Knowles, and Keanu Hutchinson in command of this race, sailing away with it. One Bahamas went to sleep. So here's what happens, folks. I don't know if you can see this on the screen, but you've got Kayla going off here on starboard, and you've got one Bahamas going off towards Stocking Island. If they were both to tack now, Kayla would have advantage. And if Tanaj is paying attention, he would tack now to put himself in position to counter Kayla when she comes back. Of course, he is sailing away and I guess looking for that one shot to the mark. The problem with doing this too is if there's a wind shift now, it's going to favor whoever. If the wind shifts to the right, one Bahamas is out of the race and Kayla's gone to the mark. Same is true though if it shifts to the left, but we know that it's moving from left to right. So now Kayla is tacked and one Bahamas still has not tacked. So we're going to say that this race is over, unless we have some shifts. We're going to pick up the rest of the fleet in a little bit. We've got a couple of boats coming up on starboard. One in particular, quite a ways to across the middle of the harbor. Might be the boat in third place, but I don't think so. It seems to be Baby Wave or Wave Maker. Can't tell. Might be the boat that's in third place right now. So we've had a little shift in the wind here. Seems that it's steadied up a little bit to the left, and one Bahamas has not tacked yet. He needs to tack any minute if he's paying any attention. If not, Kayla's gone to the mark. This is one of the things that I love about sailing, and having sailed this harbor as a boy, the wind in this harbor does tricky things. It moves back and forth. Sometimes it shifts permanently. Right now it's just a little knock on Lady Kayla again, and One Bahamas still has not seen it. We'll see if he tacks. I think he's going to go all the way to the ley line, and then it's a foot race, but by that time Lady Kayla will have closed the gap on him, and I think this one is over. Okay, finally, One Bahamas is tacked. And I do believe he went to the ley line. And now we see whether he can close that gap. It's quite a big gap. Don't think he can. Kayla should handily cross him, and she will be on the ley line when she tacks. So if you're watching from the shoreline, the two boats heading up towards the beacon, up towards the monument. Boat on the left is Kayla, the boat on the right heading up the harbor would be One Bahamas, and as you can see, Kayla is way across. She's crossed him already, and so she's gonna go just to the ley line, make her tack, and she'll have a huge lead in this race. There she goes, on top, clear away. So we look to see who's in third place. It looks like Wavemaker might be the third boat. She's going all the way to the ley line as well. Most of them seem to be doing that. If you're just joining us, we just shortened the course. This is going to be the last of the windward leg, and then we'll go off on a check over to Chat and Chill for our fundraiser. It's a beautiful afternoon to be out on the water. It's cool, nice breeze out of the northwest. Not very many big waves. It's a beautiful day to be out and about. And you can see the speed of the two boats are pretty much the same. They don't, one does not seem to be outreaching the other. It's just a matter of the tacks that were taken. So Lady Kayla is on the ley line. She's definitely going to go around. I would think she'd take that mark to starboard this time. Don't know whether Commodore changed that, but that would be a procedure. Maybe she hasn't made the mark. We'll know in just a little bit. Yeah, gonna take that to starboard. And Kayla goes around, tacks around a mark, heads off to Chat and Chill, and this one's in the bag. So now we start looking for number 2 and 3, number 3 and 4 actually, because one Bahamas will definitely take second. Regatta lead there, and she's headed over to Chat and Chill. And one Bahamas heading now to the windward mark, and she'll take that. I'm not sure she'll make it on this tack, but she's very close. And next coming up, it looks like it's going to be, it looks like Wave Maker, but I can't make out the number from here. We're going to try to get a close look at that boat in a little while. And we'll be able to tell you who's in third place and who's coming out of the pack for fourth place, because the third place boat has also separated herself now. And we're looking for Lady L. She's out here, so there she is. As a matter of fact, she's caught up quite a bit to the back of the fleet. And so that's kind of neat. So one Bahamas is around and on her way to the beach. So we now focus on the third boat coming up. We'll be able to see her, should be on your screen in a little while. So we'll both get a look at her. The other boats are much. I can see Miss Agnes is to windward of him, and there's another 2 boats to windward of him. So perhaps No Sean is not in 3rd place as I thought. However, he is in striking distance, and if he would tack across right now, he could actually make contact with Miss Agnes because he is downrange. He's closer to the mark. So a tack right now over onto port would put him really in command of this race, at least at 3rd place. But he won't. Sometimes you have to really work for position on these races. You can't just stay lay down on one course too long, because again these wind shifts are moving around, and you've got to watch for them. You've got to position yourself, and you have to take advantage of it. Right now he could take advantage of where the wind is to position himself in 3rd place from 7th, which will be a big jump. And I don't know why he doesn't make that tack. Now all the way across the harbor might be, we're trying to see which number that boat is. Yeah. And we can't because it's in shade. Could be Lucayan Lady. Cameras getting closer, we'll be able to identify them. Somewhere out there is Panther as well, and I think Panther is Emmett, and you really have to watch Emmett because he's a very good tactician. So we're looking now to see where Panther is. Panther would be number 4. So we've got Panther with a number on her sail that's not what it should be. So she's wearing somebody else's sail this afternoon, and but that is Panther. And it looks like she's going to be 3rd boat. Okay, so we're looking now at Stocking Island, the boats just from one end of the island to the other. It's just an amazing sight to see at night. So we have two more. Don't know that actually Lady L is sailing quite well all of a sudden. Still a long way to go. I didn't see Riptide go around. Is that Riptide now going around? Okay, folks, we have just two more boats to clear the windward mark. Still waiting for Lady L, who's struggling, really struggling to get up there. It'll be a while before she gets there. We'll see whether the Commodore will call that off. But we always like them to finish the race, even though it might run a little longer. It's got beautiful sun just come out now. Nice sunshine on the harbor. A couple of huge yachts out here. 200 footers. And they stretch all the way across the harbor over to February Point. Just an amazing sight to see with the sun setting, you know, coming down, sun starting down. The harbor's lighted from the west, looking east towards Manowar, down the harbor. All the white hulls, the masts. Pretty aqua water of Elizabeth Harbor. Folks, this is a place I love. It's a place that has so many memories. Okay, I think we're gonna take Lady Kayla back to the Regatta Point. Lady L back to Regatta Point. I don't think she's gonna. We're gonna not finish the course, and then we'll pick up our crew and take them over to the beach. So that is pretty much gonna wrap it up for us here, folks, on the water this afternoon. It's been a pleasure doing this for you. And we're looking to be out tomorrow. I don't know if we'll be here on Clubhouse or whether we will be at the pavilion. I'll just confirm that with our director in a little bit as to where we'll be coming from. but more likely than not, we'll be at Regatta Point. Okay, folks, we're going to say thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're now ferrying the boats back to Regatta Point, where they're going to be broken down, or basically not, probably just secured tonight. Take the sails probably off and secure them, and get ready for racing tomorrow. Then all the crews will go back to Chat and Chill. We'll get on the beach over there, and we'll have something to eat, have a bonfire tonight, and just hang out a little bit and do a little fun racing. That's going to be it for us from the clubhouse. Anchored out here in the middle of Elizabeth Harbor on this beautiful Friday afternoon. This is the 6th annual Exuma Sailing Club Regatta. We have just finished our first race for this year. We'll see you tomorrow.